The living cell is animatized by cosmic force and intelligentized by cosmic consciousness. The human body is a mass of trillions of cells, guided by infinite intelligence. Each cell is a mass of millions of atoms, each of which is a miniature solar system with planets in the form of tiny electrons whirling at tremendous speed around a common center of attraction. The solar system has no use for food. The electrons do not eat. The atoms do not eat. The cells do not eat. Why should man eat? The parent cell begins the body of man and expresses the uncanny intelligence which it inherits from the cosmic principle of creation. This cell does not come from food and does not depend on food. The body is not the product of food and should not depend on food. Food cannot sustain what it cannot produce. As the body is not the product of food, it is actually not sustained by food.
Wow. So we can just take a pause here. Now, think about that for a second. And it seems as though it's coming to a very logical conclusion, like a if-then statement. And I remember when I was taking logic and just thinking of the philosophy and the logic of if this, then that, if this, then that. And when you're thinking about it attributed to food, do we ever ask these kinds of questions? Do we ever really sit down and really meditate and really think about what is food? Traditionally what we think is food, is that food? Or are we just saying like this is food and we just continue putting it inside of our bodies because we believe that we're being nourished by this? But what is actually nourishing us? I remember being around people, very spiritual people, enlightened beings that talk about how we come from stardust, we're made from the stars, like we come from the stars, like remember who you are, you come from the stars. And it's talking about how each cell is a mass of millions of atoms, which is a miniature solar system with planets in the form of tiny electrons whirling at tremendous speed around a common center of attraction. The solar system has no use for food. The electrons do not eat. The atoms do not eat. The cells do not eat. Why should we eat? Since food cannot sustain what it cannot produce, the body is not a product of food, it is actually not sustained by food. And we see examples of this when people have died or people have passed, and they see that undigested food is just sitting in their bodies. Now, if the food were truly sustaining us, were truly nourishing us, were truly keeping us alive, would we not continue living? Would we not continue thriving instead of just surviving on the things that we eat and consume? So it's a great question, to ask, to really hypothesize and to philosophize when you think about what is this thing that we're calling food? And is it actually sustaining? Is it actually maintaining this vessel? Or is this vessel being maintained by something else? What is actually contributing to my health? And that's what we're aiming to understand and understand a lot more deeply.